Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Michael. This is going to be the first video on the channel, and I thought that it would be fun because hopefully by the time this is uploaded, it'll be on my 29th birthday. So we're going to do 29 questions about me. And the first question is going to be, why am I starting this channel? I'm starting this channel because I've always kind of tinkered with the idea of doing YouTube. I always thought that it would be something cool to do. Another reason for starting it is the last couple of years I've had this bingo card, which is filled with about 24 or 25 squares. And each square represents a goal that you want to accomplish for yourself that year. And this year I had almost all of them filled out, except for one, and I was really like racking my brain about what I wanted this last goal to be. And I was just like, you know what, let me just put something like left field, something that I wouldn't like even have thought about doing, and that was this. And so here we are, and I'm trying to cross this square off of my bingo card. So the second question is, who inspired me to do YouTube? I think the three people I can think about is Jared Poland. I watched him, ever since starting photography, and I've learned so much on the technical side, and I really like his photojournalistic style. The second person, find out about them till much recently, and that's Terry Warfield. And in the last year or so, he's made these videos about sort of taking this leap of faith of becoming a YouTuber or a creator, and sort of pulling back the curtain on it. And I find a lot of it inspiring. Person is Micro Four Nerds, Emily Laurie. I really like how she's created her own lane in the photography world, as far as not just talking about the latest and greatest. She loves these small cameras, and generally it's stuff that you wouldn't think that people care about, but she does. And I think it's very inspiring. I think she's also talked about the importance of also documenting your life, and I sort of want to take all that and do it for myself. Question number 3 is, what is my favorite camera accessory? I would have to definitely say that it's a battery grip. A battery grip is this grip that goes right on the bottom of your camera. A lot of the times it gives you controls for when you're holding the camera vertically, and a lot of the times it allows you to add an extra battery. One time I got a used camera that came with it, and I fell in love with it. Every time I bought a camera, I always went looking to see is there a grip for this camera? I've never looked back from getting it. They can be pricey though, so definitely look for a used one. I've definitely gotten some crazy deals on a used one. And question number 4 is, what is my favorite memory from beginning photography? And it's definitely learning what long exposure even was, and creating these light trails with cars, or doing light painting. The first few times that I tried doing it, it made photography feel magical. It created this image that you can't see, and I always thought that it was so cool. Question number 5 is, what is a car that I've enjoyed photographing the most? A lot of my photography is automotive based. For me, it is the DeLorean. I saw it at the Back to the Future section in the Universal Studios Hollywood tour. There's these tram rides, and where they had the car parked was right in front of where the clock tower is, and on the set. And our tram stopped right in front of it, and it was the most perfect picture. Question number 6 is, what is the first game that I played? The first game that I remember playing is Spider-Man for the PS1. A lot of people, I believe, also call it Spider-Man 2000. That game I loved as a kid. I thought it was so freaking awesome. And funny enough, I didn't have a memory card for my PlayStation. So I played the beginning of that game so many freaking times, and I remember there was this one time that like I got the furthest that I ever have, and me and my family had to go somewhere. I don't even remember where. We had to go somewhere, and I did not want to go. I was just like, bro, I was like, I'm never getting to this part again. So when we left, I left the PlayStation on. Like I paused the game and I just turned off the TV, and I was praying that it was going to be in the same spot when we got back. Luckily, it was, but I don't remember much after that. And I think my dumbass probably just turned off the PlayStation. Question number 8 is, I'm sorry, question number 7 is, what is the most frustrating moment that I've had in gaming? And for me, it's definitely uh, beating Midnight Club Los Angeles on the PlayStation 3. And I remember so it's this racing game, and I remember there's different levels to the races, and so like green was like easy, yellow was like a medium, and red was hard, and you had to beat all these races to beat the game. And the red ones, man, were brutal. I remember being so damn frustrated, like trying to beat them. Question number 8 is, what are my top 3 favorite games? Number 1 is definitely going to be Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that should be in everybody's top 3 or top 5. That game is amazing. My second one is going to be Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. I believe that game and Red Dead came out in the same year, I believe. That's so far been like the best Spider-Man game. I think at the time I remember being like blown away, and it has so many like little things that make it like I think really good. The last game is Dave the Diver. It's a bit of an indie game, but that game, like every time that I played it, you go in the water, get fish, and you're in the restaurant. I feel like every time you went through that cycle, like the game to me always added something new. Like it was the game that kept on giving. And I've never experienced something like that. It's definitely a favorite. Question number 9 is, if you could only drive one car for the rest of your life, what would it be? This is, I want to say it's low-key a silly decision, but a practical one, and it's the Honda Fit. Those types of cars, they are strangely small, but also strangely spacious on the inside. And I love that the Honda Fit has these magic seats, I think they're called, where the part where you sit folds up and creates this huge space behind the drivers, while also maintaining the trunk space. And like a lot of hatchback crossover type of cars, you can put the backs of the seats down, so you have, I think, so many options of being able to transport stuff. And it's a small car, it gets good gas mileage and all that. Question number 10 is, who is my favorite horror movie character? This is a bit of an easy one for me, and I think it's Michael Myers. I think Halloween 1978 created the slasher genre pretty much, and Big Mike is definitely a horror icon. Question number 11 is, what is my favorite Star Wars moment? For me, it is definitely the ending fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan in the end of Revenge of the Sith. I remember seeing that movie as a kid like 3 times in the theater, and that fight was just so epic. Even though you know that Anakin is going to lose and he is going to become like how Darth Vader is, but in that moment of watching it, I feel like you couldn't, it was almost like you couldn't tell who was going to win, and that's definitely one of my favorite moments. Number 12 is, where do I see this channel going? I hope to see the channel grow into a community of like-minded people, into photography, into gaming, and all the stuff that I enjoy talking about. And number 13 is going to be, what is the most important life lesson that I've learned? I think for me, it's definitely learning to give myself more credit and not judge myself as harshly or critically. Question number 14 is, if I could have dinner with a historical person, whether they be dead or alive, my choice would have to be Stan Lee. I don't know where he would fall in the category of historical, but I think he definitely is a person who has this big legacy, and I would just love to talk to him and like kind of get his thoughts on his creativity. Like, he was involved in creating so many different characters, and I think it would be a very interesting conversation. Question number 15 is, what is my go-to coffee order? And this one is super easy. It's cookie butter. It's just super simple. It doesn't matter where it's at. If they have cookie butter, I'm gonna order it. Number 16 is, what is the most diabolical pizza topping? And another easy one, that is sardines. I just think the idea is gross. Number 17 are, what are my top 3 favorite memes? Definitely the first one is the guy, he's like thinking like this. It sure it's like a clip from like a movie or something. But my favorite one is like, you can't be used if you're useless. It always cracks me up. My second one is, I like to use this more as a GIF, but it's McLovin, like he's like, "What's up, gangsters?" You know what I mean? And the last one is, I believe it's like this woman like yelling like at a cat who's like wearing like a dinner like outfit. I'll have to see if I can find that one because I can't really explain it. I've seen it so many different times. Number 18 is, what is my favorite podcast soundbite? I think it has to be Drake. I don't remember what he's even talking about, but he's just like embarrassing. I love hearing that one. Number 19 is, what is my favorite Disneyland ride? And as big as a Star Wars nerd that I am, it is definitely Mickey's Runaway Railway. And the first time that I got on it, I just thought it was such a cool ride. Like, I feel like the first time you get on it, it has a lot of unexpected things. And it's a ride that anytime I've gone, I always want to make sure that I get on it. Number 20 is, what is the last book that I read? The last book that I read, I both read this book and heard the audio version of this book, and it is the Storyteller by Dave Grohl. I'm not much of a Foo Fighters or a Nirvana fan, but I got the book recommendation from a radio show that I listened to, and I was needing something to listen to, and so I decided to give it a shot, and it was actually a really good memoir. Question number 21 is, what show did not need another season? And I would have to say, honestly, Squid Games. I saw only the first season, not the second or the third. And I thought just the way that it ended, I felt like there was no way to recapture the hype from it. 22 is, what is my favorite recent tech/gadget? It definitely, for me, is the Steam Deck. I love the fact that it's a computer that has, PS4 specs that, is not too much bigger than a Switch. And I love that it's portable. I love that it surprisingly runs a lot of games. And the Steam OS is amazing. Question number 23 is, what is my favorite fast food order? And lately, it would have to be the Southwest salad from Chick-fil-A. I don't know why, like, all of a sudden I've just been like really into them. I think it's a pretty solid salad. Number 24 is, what is my favorite vinyl record? This record is also my favorite just album in general, and that is The Art of Doubt by Metric. That album is like, I can listen to it like beginning to end, like no skips. Question number 25 is, what is the prettiest vinyl record in my opinion? I believe that it is the Target special edition of After Hours by The Weeknd. I just think that one, I own that record also. It's this gold vinyl with red splatters all over it. I think it's supposed to be blood. I just think it looks so sick. Like, it almost made me not want to play it. But yeah, that's hands down what I think is the prettiest. Number 26 is, how do I recharge? And I think it's definitely just watching TV, honestly, watching YouTube with either me or my fiance. Number 27 is what I would do if I knew that I couldn't fail. And I would definitely try to make music in some capacity. Like, I love music and I love listening to music, but I've never really had the thought or like wanting to create it myself in any way. And so I think, I mean, if it's something that I can't fail at, that's what I'm gonna try to throw my hat into. Um, Number 28 are what are the things that I'm most grateful for. Um, the first is definitely my fiance. We met in our early 20s, and I think we've grown a lot, not only as a couple, but individually. The second is my niece. She's definitely shown me what life is like when there's a child in it. And just having a niece has made me want to share or give her the same experiences that I had as a kid with my uncle. Number three is therapy. My therapist has helped me work through a lot of stuff and showed me that there is a way to choose yourself and that be okay. Number 29 is what do I wish to accomplish in the last year of my 20s? And I hope to grow my photography a lot more, just as a photographer and as a business. And I hope to challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone a lot more. And yeah, so that's all 29 questions. I hope you enjoyed the video. I have definitely some stuff pre-recorded that hopefully shortly after should be ready to go. And yeah, thank you again for watching. Bye.